All right, let's talk about money. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all the noise and give you a super simple, totally non-judgmental plan to get a handle on your finances. Yeah, even if you're starting from square one. Let's dive in.
So, have you ever had that moment? You look at your bank account and you're just like, where did it all go? You know that feeling, right? Like your money just vanishes into thin air. It is incredibly common. And here's the thing. You're not bad with money. You just need a plan, a clear direction.
And that is exactly what we're going to build today. Look, this isn't about giving up your lattes or getting bogged down in some crazy complicated spreadsheet. Nope. This is a clear, simple framework that you can literally start using in the next 5 minutes. Zero fluff.
So, here's how we're going to break it down. 3 simple parts. First, we're creating your financial blueprint, giving your money a job. Then, we'll build up your financial defense to protect you from life's little surprises. And finally, we'll set things up to automate your future growth. Easy, right?
All right, let's jump right into part 1, creating your financial blueprint. This is all about giving your money some direction. How do we go from just kind of spending to actually planning with purpose? It all starts right here.
This whole blueprint really boils down to 2 simple things. First, we've got to tell our money what we want it to do for us, and that means setting some clear goals. And second, we need a plan to make sure it actually listens, and that, my friend, is a budget.
You know, a lot of people struggle simply because their money doesn't have a purpose. It's just there. So let's give it one. A great way to start is with 2 goals. One short-term, something you can hit pretty fast, like building a starter $500 emergency fund, and one long-term, like saving for retirement. This way, you get that awesome feeling of a quick win, which keeps you motivated while you're also building towards that bigger future.
And this is how you make it real. See, saying I'm going to save more is, well, it's kind of useless. But saying I will save $25 a week until I hit 500, now that is a plan. Making your goals specific, measurable, that's the absolute key. Now you know exactly what to do and when you've crushed it.
Okay, next up, the budget. And please do not overthink this. If you have a pretty stable income, the 50-30-20 rule is a fantastic place to start. Super simple. But if your income is a little tight, or maybe it bounces around from month to month, a zero-based budget can be a total game changer. It forces you to get really intentional with every single dollar you earn.
So let's look at what that zero-based budget actually looks like. It's simple, really. You start with what you bring home, your take-home pay. Then you give every single dollar a job. This much for needs, this much for debt, this for savings, this for wants, until you have exactly $0 left to assign. It's this one simple exercise that gets rid of that mystery money that just seems to disappear every month.
Okay, so now you've got a blueprint. Awesome. That brings us to part 2, building your financial defense. See, a plan is great, but life happens, right? So it needs some protection. It's time to build a safety net and plug any of those financial leaks.
And your very first line of defense? A starter emergency fund. Now forget all that overwhelming advice you hear about saving 3 to 6 months of expenses right away. I mean, for most people, that feels totally impossible. So instead, let's start with a goal you can actually hit, $500. This isn't just a buffer, it's breathing room. It's the psychological freedom of knowing that a flat tire isn't going to completely derail your entire month. But it is so important to be crystal clear about what this money is for. It's for true emergencies. A surprise car repair, an urgent medical bill, you get the idea. What it is not for is a weekend sale, a birthday gift, or a treat-yourself moment because you had a tough week. Seriously, respecting that boundary is what makes it such a powerful financial shield.
All right, the second piece of your defense is going after high-interest debt, especially credit card debt. And this analogy is just perfect. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a giant hole in it. You can keep pouring money in, but those high interest rates are just draining it right back out. It's actively working against every bit of progress you try to make.
So, how do you plug that hole? Well, you've got 2 fantastic options. The Avalanche method is where you attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. Mathematically, this saves you the most money over time. But if you need those motivational boosts, the snowball method is your friend. You knock out the smallest balances first, creating these quick wins that keep you fired up. Honestly, the best method is the one you'll actually stick with. Period.
And that brings us to our final phase, automating your future growth. We've built the plan, we've built the defense, now it's time to go on offense. This is all about building long-term momentum using systems, not just sheer willpower.
And the absolute core principle here is 3 simple words. Pay yourself first. What does that mean? It means your savings and your investments get treated like the most important bill you have. Before you pay for fun stuff, before you pay for anything that isn't essential, you set money aside for your future self. No excuses.
And the real secret sauce here is making it automatic. Go into your bank account and set up an automatic transfer to your savings or investment account for the exact day you get paid. It doesn't have to be some huge amount. A small, consistent contribution is way more powerful in the long run than trying to make big, random ones whenever you feel like it. This is how you make progress your default setting.
And last but not least, please remember, a budget is not some strict rulebook carved in stone. It's a living, breathing plan. Just take 5 minutes each week or maybe 15 minutes at the end of the month to do a quick check-in. Ask yourself these 3 simple questions. What went right? What went a little off track? And what do I need to adjust for next month? Real progress comes from making these small, regular corrections, not from trying to have a perfect month every single time.
And there it is, your financial reset in 3 simple acts. It's really that straightforward. First, you create your blueprint. That's your clear goals and your budget. Second, you build your defense, your emergency fund, and a plan to attack that debt. And third, you automate your growth by paying yourself first and then just tweaking the plan as you go.
Look, this whole plan doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts today, right now. So my question for you is this. What is the one small step you are going to take today, right after this? Are you going to define that one specific goal? Maybe set up that automatic transfer, or just decide which budget you're going to try? The real power is in just getting started.